Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Hublot Big Bang white ceramic, 44 millimeters in a combination of stainless steel and white ceramic bezel. You can see this Hublot Big Bang on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it if you like, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can see on my wrist the classical 44 millimeter Hublot Big Bang still has immense presence. In this, the 10th anniversary of the original Big Bang, you can see the watch remains a style standout, only now it's been elevated to the status of something of a living style legend. This is a watch that no longer needs an introduction. It always made an entrance, but now it kind of precedes itself, kind of like James Bond. The name precedes the imagery. You see it, you already know what it is. And the thing about the white ceramic model, which followed shortly after the 2005 debut of the original, is that this 2006 innovation brings yet another element to Hublot's signature material fusion philosophy. Back in 1980, Hublot combined the first gold watch with a rubber strap. Natural vulcanized rubber. It was a little bit sacrilegious in combination with a precious metal case. Well, today Hublot continues the trend here with stainless steel, natural vulcanized rubber, composite bezel gasket and flanking inserts, and carbon fiber on the dial next to that opaque white ceramic bezel with inset titanium H-pattern bezel bolts. On the wrist, I have to say it wears more easily on a small wrist than you would expect. Hublot has always been a master of two things: material fusion, which I introduced, and ergonomics, which I'll explain. The watch is 54 millimeters from lug to lug, so it still really cuts an impressive and imposing presence on the wrist. But 15 millimeters thick and huge across, it doesn't feel it. The strap is soft, it conforms easily to a smaller wrist, and makes the watch easy to wear even if your wrist is smaller than my 16 centimeters, say 14.5 to 15, you're still going to be okay wearing this watch comfortably. Because of the modular construction of the case, with the composite inserts on the side and the titanium inner, it's easier to wear this watch because it doesn't have the heft of a conventional 54 millimeters lug to lug. It's nice and light and wieldy. Now, in terms of the caseback shape, you can see it's mostly flat with a little bit of a cupped form. It nestles into the wrist a bit, so if it's 15 millimeters thick, it only sits about 13.5 above the skin. I'll also mention that because the lugs are remarkably short and canted downward, it actually starts the strap curving around your wrist before the case even ends. You can see how the strap is sort of inset into the lug. Ergonomically, it works very well. The quality of Hublot rubber has always been tops, and here you see a unique pyramid pattern that's molded into it with double channels. Gives it a little bit of visual, shall I say, texture, animation, and definition in what would otherwise be a broad expanse of monotone white. Nicely done. Again, that is Hublot's hallmark. Style is a definite strong point here, but so is substance, and this twin trigger deployant clasp is very sturdy. Now, it features twin triggers for secure release, neither clamshell nor friction fit. This one's not going to pop open, so it's going to retain your high style, high value watch. And significantly, it is a full-fledged sports watch with 100 meter 330 foot water resistance. The crown isn't a screw down, but nevertheless it achieves that 100 meter resistance rating. So you can take this one in the pool, you can take it swimming, you can go to the beach with it. The combination of steel, composite, rubber, and abundant water resistance makes for a very durable and versatile watch. But even more so because of the ceramic bezel. Ceramic was an early favorite of Hublot. Right out of the gate, Hublot adopted ceramic in its earliest days as a watchmaking material. 2006, the white ceramic bezel comes along. What it does is it combines the hardness, basically the scratch resistance that we've come to know with sapphire crystal. It combines that scratch resistance with the structural element of the bezel. So while conventional bezels on watches like the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore, when it's brushed metal, tend to become scratch and scuff magnets, here the bezel is just as resilient as the sapphire crystal itself. And once again, Hublot adds definition and a little bit of visual character with this cross-hatching pattern around the circumference and polished, almost opaque white marble-esque tone on the top. It frames a gorgeous carbon fiber woven dial with an interesting juxtaposition of black, white, polished elements, and of course those shocks of red on the subdials, as well as the chronograph seconds track and the chronograph seconds hand. Now, the chronograph is the king of complications, and the Big Bang has featured one from the very beginning. It allows you to time something in addition to the civil hours, minutes, and seconds on the primary hands at center and the constant seconds sub-register at 9 o'clock. The chronograph can be used for anything from barbecues to the kids' track meet to timing the intervals between meetings at work, or, because we love watchmaking per se, it can just be used for entertainment purposes. I will mention that the Valjoux 7750 based automatic caliber inside this watch also features hacking seconds, so when you pull the crown to its outermost setting position, you actually stop the balance and you can synchronize the seconds hand with a reference timer to precisely set the time. Once set, this movement is set it and forget it. And Hublot does make it easy to admire with a full display caseback and a partially skeletonized rotor using a tungsten winding mass. The skeletonized rotor allows you to see more of the movement because automatic movements conventionally typically obscure half of the movement at any given time with their automatic winding rotor, but here Hublot allows you a little bit of a glimpse at the plates, the levers, the bridges, and the screws underneath the rotor, while at the same time giving you a variety of finishes: blued screws, satin and brushed finishes, polished elements, grained wheels, so you can appreciate the beating heart of your watch. Now, this watch is a limited edition of only 250 pieces, so in addition to having sort of a dramatic summary imagery to it and gorgeous juxtaposition of colors, finishes, tones, and material, there is an exclusivity factor that adds to the appeal of this watch. Hublot has always been about material fusion, it's always been about contrast, and of course, as anyone who knows Hublot understands, it's a polarizing, love it or hate it brand that's not afraid to be brash, not afraid to make enemies because it has no shortage of friends. If you count yourself among the friends of the Hublot brand and you want a rare, memorable, and striking limited edition Hublot Big Bang in the original 44mm size, check out this Hublot Big Bang white ceramic on our website, watchyouwant.com.